Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again. Alright, I'm going to take a look at another brand new power station that I just found on Ouquitel's website. Now, some people say Oukitel, some people say Oukitel. I call it Oukitel. Okay, so this is called the Oukitel BP2000 plus 2 B2000 solar generator. So it's obviously got a main head up here and then 2 extra expandable batteries. Now I believe this is the first one for Oukitel that I saw that has expandable batteries. So this kind of looks like the Pecron and the Bluetti models where you put the little cables on here and you daisy chain them in a row, and that ups the watt hour capacity of the whole system as a total. So let's take a look and see what it offers here. As far as the pictures, let's look at those first. I always like looking at the pictures. I do like right away that notice that each piece of the systems have the full little display on each part. That way you can use them separately in standalone and know exactly what the percentage is. I like that a lot. I think that's a major upgrade for power stations there, where you have these little meters. See, 99%, this one says 99%, and that one says 99%, and then how many hours you have left, and notice that they're all the same. So according to the pictures, it looks like the communications of this one seems to be pretty decent. The cables are kind of clumsy. I wish they would have the right angle ones. If you guys remember, the Pecron just came out with those 90-degree angles. Awesome cables, guys. They're really nice. It does limit the configurations and the distance that you can have the batteries from the main system, but I do like them a lot because they're very, very tight, and they run up along the side of the left side here, real snug like that, and rather than sticking out so much. These are very heavy-duty cables, guys. I would say possibly twice the size of what you have on your car for your car battery, so they don't bend the easiest, but they are bendable. But I do like the right angle ones on the other system. So that's one thing that I noticed right away. I want this to be my first response video because usually when you look at a product, whatever stands out is usually what catches your eyes as far as, oh, that's a nice feature, or maybe not such a good feature for me. So you have your main screen. It looks very similar to, I have 2 P2001s. It has, it looks like the same stuff that's on there, which are the warnings down here, the input, output, and the power meter. This will spin in a circle as it's filling. And then here's your power left to either fully charge or discharge. This looks like you have a 12-volt cigarette lighter, and now guys, this has a 24-volt cigarette lighter. I think that's cool. So that ups the output of the DC for sure, and that's better for, you know, things like diesel heaters or things that pull a little bit more amperage when it gets started. Kind of motor kind of things, you know, things that need a little bit more, like a compressor for like portable refrigerator. That would be great for that because it'll run a lot easier and stronger and quick, more cooling on the 24 volt, because that's 120 watts and that's 240. So the more power you put at something, the better it works, as far as the quicker it works that way. Not necessarily the better it works, but you'll get a better time, because if you can put more power into a heater, it obviously heats up the room faster. And then you have your 12, I think these are 12 by 3 amps. That seems kind of low here, guys. If that's 3, you have to wait till I get to the specs. But we don't use the barrels much anymore. I'm guessing those are 5521s. We don't really use those much anymore. I would like to see maybe an XT60. Guys, the P2001 that we have, both of them have an XT60 plug. I would have loved to have seen that on here. I think they swapped it for this one, but I would have loved to have seen that on here. Going over to the USB section here, you got two grandpa ports that are 5 volt at 2.4 amps. Boy, it's hard to read these guys. And then you have 2 that are quick charge 1.0, so I'm guessing these are probably, well, let's see, quick charge 1.0. I think that's 12 or 10 watts. I'm not sure. I remember a quick charge 3.0 is 18. 2 I think is 12, and then, so this is probably like 6 watts. These are probably really old school. And then 2 power delivery ports. Now, what's really nice with the Oukitels, I almost said Pecron, the Oukitels, guys, is on my P2001, these ports are both 100 watt driven, 20 volts at 5 amps on each one. That's a really cool thing, guys, because then you can power dump up to 200 watts out of here through these little cables, and these are very small. You put them in your pocket. Hopefully this box, this new unit, has that little glove compartment that's up here where you can put your stuff. I really like that on the P2001. I thought that was a great feature to have, as well as the XTC output. And then the charging was really nice too. No charging brick. Looks like you have 4 120 volt at 20 amp max AC receptacles here. And then as we go around the side, this looks like your input charging here, guys. It's hard to read that, guys. AC input, DC. We have to wait till we get down to the specs, guys. I wish that these companies would put higher resolution pictures so you can actually read them. And then here's the other one. This is, okay, so this is probably input for AC. And then this one is probably, what? Unless that's an output now. Maybe that's an output. Huh. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that might be that I think it's called a TT Nana output, which is that round one for RVs. We have to wait and see. We've got to flip this open here, but that's the tough thing with looking at the pictures first, guys. Now here's the batteries. So you got your 12 volt, and then does it say 45 volts at 15 amps? So I'm assuming that's an input. We have to wait and see. And then you got a USB-A and a USB-C, and then here's your power. But this is a big change, guys. For external batteries, this is a really big, important, for me at least, thing to see on there, is you can actually see the real wattage and everything in the battery. I like that. I told Pecron that for a year now, and I also mentioned that to Blue Eddy and VTO Man, and there was a few of them I mentioned that too. What was the other one? Energizer, and I think I mentioned that to Oukitel a while ago. It would be great to see an actual power meter on the battery, so if you use them separately, you have all that information right there on the battery. That's a really good thing to see. And then this is probably charging over here. And possibly, do you think this is AC output? Boy, I can't wait to get down to the specs here, guys. You got input, output, fans, and then that's probably the total system there. I'm assuming you can only put 2 batteries. If this has 2, this has 2, and this has 2, that would be 6,000. But we have to wait and see how big they are. I'm just going off of what they say as far as those are all the same pictures now. It says 2 to 16,000 watt hours. Oh, wow, okay. Portable power for your home backup, road trips, and off. Fastest recharging, charge from 0 to 80%, 1.5 hours. AC 100 watt, 1800 watt max input. Wowie zowie, guys. And you can bring in 1,000 watts of solar panel and 1,500 watts on AC at the same time. Wow, that's 2,500 watts, guys. Holy crapzilla, if you could use those both at the same time. Industry leading 1,400 watt UPS, under 10 milliseconds, guys. That's pretty quick now. So industry average is about 20 milliseconds, and under 10 milliseconds is very good, guys. It's very, very quick. Under 20, I mean, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between just watching it, but if you actually rated it on an actual machine, a testing machine, you could see it would be a lot more quick, or a lot more rapid for hospital stuff and medical stuff, and very, very sensitive equipment that's very, very prone to not liking that switch over time, that interruption, if you will, of the power. Certain electronics don't like that. 2,200 watt pure sine wave inverter. Now, guys, this is 200 watts higher than the P2001, the ones that we have. And that one we were able to push up to about 2,400 watts continuously for minutes, and 2,500 watts for a few seconds, which is way hotter than the rated output of the machine. So if this is anywhere like that, you'd be able to push this up a little bit. And I like that a lot, guys. But their inverter last time was much better. We have to wait and see. I'm curious about the battery size. It didn't say. It says a 2,000, so I'm assuming that's 2,000. And if it's 2,000, do you think you could put 8 of these things? Well, this system and then 7 of these batteries together? Holy crap, so that would be cool. Because I don't know how you get 16,000 kilowatt hours unless you could put like 7 batteries onto this thing. That would be great, guys. That would really be cool, because you could build your system modular over time. You don't have to put all your money at one time. You buy this, and then you buy a battery, and then you buy maybe 2 batteries, and you buy 1 battery, and over the years you build it as it goes, as long as the batteries are still available, of course. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, so you got 10 years of daily use, 3,500 cycles. 3,500 cycles, guys, is actually, I want to do the math for you here. A lot of companies are doing this. They're putting it at 10,000. If you use it every single day, guys, it's really not 10 years. It's almost 10 years, so if you divide that by 365, you'll see that you get just about 9.6 years. But that's pretty close, so they kind of round it up. But that way you get full disclosure. If you cycled it every single day, that's 9.58.9. Well, I'll round it, 9.6 years. So maybe 9 years, 6 or 7, 8 months, something like that. If you did it every day, and that's to 80%. Now, once you reach 80%, obviously you don't have to throw the thing in the garbage. It just means that the capacity drops down about 20% overall. So if you had a 2,000 watt hour battery capacity and you dropped it down 20, you'd lose approximately 400 watts of that. So you get about a 1,600 watt hour runtime or storage time, if you will, over 10 years. Let's see here. We saw the pictures. Here's the breakdown, guys. I wish this picture was up there bigger. This is how the battery cells are. It looks like those 680s, I think they're called, which are the battery cells. I think they use that in the Tesla. Wait, here we go. I got distracted here. These batteries are all together. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's only 12, guys. So maybe you could put a bunch of these batteries together. I'm very curious about that, because normally systems only allow you to go in 2, 3, or 4 batteries. So really curious to see how many you could actually put them together. Okay, guys, here's the answer. Holy crap, Zilla, guys, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batteries plus that. So there you got your 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Holy crap, Zilla, guys. Can you imagine if you stacked it on top of each other? That would be taller than us. Wow, guys, you could put 7 of these batteries onto the system according to this. That's really, really big. Wowie zowie. Or you could probably, stack it like they have it here, so you don't have to stack it all the way to the ceiling. Boy, wait, that'd be dang near almost 10 feet tall. Wow, I've never seen a system with that many modular battery packs for such a small system like that. Now the AC500 by Bluetti can have 6 batteries, and that is a monster system, guys, with a 5,000 watt inverter, 10,000 surge, and that handles 6 batteries. But this actually handles 7 batteries, which is one more, plus the battery pack that's in here. So it's technically 8 batteries that this little system, and remember, they all have their individual screens. That is a huge plus for me. Now the only thing I'm kind of worried about as far as Oukitel is the 2 systems that we have. The watt hours is rated about 2,000 watt hours, but we're only able to draw out about 1,550 watt hours, and I've noticed that amongst other reviewers that they were only able to bring out about 75% of the rated capacity. I think that's because the UPS on it and the power inverter is a very, very good, well-made power inverter, and it draws a lot of power, so that eats away your time. But wow, this is the first time I've ever seen this one, guys. I just happen to be going through checking the prices and checking what's out there. Here's a bigger picture here, guys. So now you can see the battery cells up close and personal. So here you got your main motherboard with your main display here and all your doohickeys, and then you have over here, this is all your heat sink for your 120 volt inverter, I'm assuming, and then you got your dual fans, so you got dual ports and dual fans, and then you have all your extra ports on the side, and then your extra ports are obviously on the cover up here once that's closed. 10-year service time, more stable traditional battery, guys, 100%. Here you got over voltage and over current and short voltage. That's good. Protect core and components, smart temperature control, so that's good. Hopefully it has the high and low temperature. Guys, low temperature, say if you let this sit outside, say in a van or an RV or something, it got too cold, what it'll do is it'll not allow the energy to go into the system until the system reaches a certain temperature, either Fahrenheit or Celsius, and that way you have a better protection for the battery cells inside. Now it says automatic transfer switch, guys. Now that's pretty cool. So here it says easy integrate with transfer switch by directly connecting the BP2000 to the dual power automatic transfer switch. I'm assuming that's sold separately, guys. That's this little box right here. It says when a blackout hits, it can continue to power your important home devices such as your fridge and lights for hours. So this is kind of how it works here. See, so the grid dropped obviously, and then the battery, here's the grid again, and then as soon as it detects that no energy is coming in, it switches over to this during the power outage. And if you have 16,000 kilowatts, I'm pretty sure that'll get you a day or 2 through your house, depending on your power needs. I believe that the average power usage for an average house in the United States is about 10,000 watt hours per day. Ours is a lot less than that, guys. We're not big and heavy on electricity usage. We try to find things that save power. One of the biggest things to solar power is not how much power you can generate, but it's how much power you can conserve during a power outage or an emergency. I think that's more important than actually making the energy, is how you use it. Figure back when you was a kid, if you had $1 for say your allowance or whatever, and you went to the corner store or something, you learned how to budget that $1 in between bubble gum and baseball cards and comic books or whatever you bought, so you could stretch that $1 throughout the week as opposed to just burning it the first day. And solar power is the same, guys. It's not how much power you can generate, it's power. Because if you could generate 1,000,000 watts, right, 1,000,000 watts, a megawatt hour, right, but you burn 2,000,000 megawatts, well, that's not useful then, because you're burning more. Think of a credit card. If you can't balance a credit card, stop using it, guys. That's how what I've learned in electricity. This gives you kind of an average of how long you can use stuff. This will flip through pretty quick here. Okay, so here's the specs, guys. This is what I was waiting for. So this is the BP2000 here, lithium iron phosphate batteries. That's what I recommend. That's what we use here. We do have a few lithium ion batteries, guys. They're pretty volatile when you have power surges and stuff like that, and they can end up starting some headaches or problems here. Pure sine wave inverter, that's great, guys. You don't want the modified stuff anymore. That's old technology, and it's rough on some fancy electronics, some high-end electronics, because rather than having that nice smooth energy where it goes alternating currents goes like this, real nice and smooth, it goes like this, kind of in a box wave. That's why they call it modified, and those hard power cuts are really hard for some electronics. 4,000 watt surge, guys. That's a lot of power for surge. Boy, I'd like to test this one too. Okay, so here you got two USB A's. You got two at 12 watts, 5 volts at 2.4 amps each, and then you got two USB A's, 2 at 18. So, guys, these are the quick charge, even though they weren't listed as quick charge 3. And then these are the old grandpas, which are quick charge 2, I believe they're called. And then the regular one is just called charging, probably, and that's USB 1.0. 1,800 watts max from the wall, guys. That's a lot of power. Now, there's a plus and a drawback, guys. If this doesn't have an app, which I didn't read anything about an app yet, this could be a drawback, because if you hook this up to a circuit and you're drawing too much on that circuit already, say you have a refrigerator to it, or just anything that's running on there that's pulling some power when it starts, and you're pulling 1,800 watts here, and all of a sudden that compressor kicks on that fridge, you'll definitely pop that fuse if you don't have like a 20 or 25 amp fuse on there. So that's something to be aware of, guys. I do like the systems where you can control the input flow of the AC power, and that way you could drop this down to, like, say 900 watts or 600. Like, that would be great. It'd be like say you had a 6, a 12, and an 18. I think that would be perfect, because then you could drop the power down to what you need and what you want at that time. Obviously, charging slower is better for the battery cells, guys. Everyone knows that now. Charging faster is better for the emergency, and more havoc for your battery cells, so it burns them out quicker in the long term. So you got your car input here. You have your 12 volt at 8 amps and 24 volts at 10 amps. So maybe that wasn't an output, guys. That was an input. Obviously, it says input for that 24. I wish that was an output, guys. I wish that was an output. And that's why you always read the specs to make sure what it was, because I thought it was an output when I saw that up there. Which Blue Eddy has a few like that. We have a 24 volt output, which is awesome. AC charging here. It says 1,500 watts. Now, I'm a little confused, guys. This says AC input, and this says AC charging, 1,500 watts. I don't. Yeah, guys, I'm a little confused by that. It says AC input. You would assume maybe that's supposed to be output. How could it be 1,800 watts input if the AC charging is only 1,500 watts input? All right, guys, if you know the answer to that, let me know. It's the first time I'm seeing the system. And then AC and solar charging is 2,500 together. So, yeah, that seems a little weird. You have AC input max. I wonder if that's supposed to say output. Huh. Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see, guys. Net weight is 52 pounds. That's to be expected. These systems are kind of heavy, guys. I think mine is 48 pounds, I believe it was. Operating temperature, that's normal, 0 to 40 Celsius. On this side of the pond, it's freezing to 104 Fahrenheit. That's normal temperature for lithium iron phosphate. Certifications, it's always good to see these guys. These are to make sure that you're safe as far as the items that you're using. Here you got 1 to 2 years in the warranty. We're going to go backwards up this side. If you subscribe to the Oukitel, then you get extra 2 years. If you subscribe, so it would be 3 years total. Storage temperature is 14 degrees to 104. So that's actually below freezing, but not too much below freezing, guys. You don't want to get below 0. Yeah, because 32 is freezing. And then sub temperature is below 0. Dimensions is 48. See, guys, oh, here we go, inches. Okay, I hate when they do centimeters, guys, because you have to bring out like a calculator. So you got about 19 inches by just about 12 inches by about 13 inches. So that's a small little box, guys. That's definitely smaller than the units that we have. Expandable up to 7. Now here's the answer to that, guys. 7 B2000 batteries. That's huge. That's the first time I've seen a system that can hold that many battery packs. As far as the AC500 can only hold 6, and this, now that's more power, but that's a $15,000 system, guys. But that's wow, that's amazing. So let's hope by this time next year or a couple years they'll have systems where we could buy a regular small one and put 100 battery packs on there. Let's hope. Solar charging is 1,000 watts. That's double of what the P2001 was able to get us. We're maxed out at what was it, 12 to 48 volts, which is kind of a weird thing. 12 to 48 volts at 500 watts was the cap, and now you have 1,000. So now you have a chance to charge that in a solar day, unless you have the full. What would this be? 16,000. Yeah, that would take a few days to charge that, guys, because you probably only get about 5 hours of solar, so it's about 5,000, and that's at perfect. So you could bring in 5,000 watts from solar panels. So that would be about let's see, 16 hours. Yeah, you need about 3 to 3.5 days. So this is definitely not one that you would want to do just solar, unless you're charging on vacation. You're not using it for a few days. 2,800 watts is AC and the solar, so that's nice. So you can charge it very quickly that way. Doing the math on that, guys, it would be, I got to bust out the calculator. I have kind of an average in my head, but let me double check here. So if you have a 16,000 watt system, I'm guessing 3. Oops, 16. It's hard using the mouse, guys. Divided by 2,800 watts. That's a lot of power, guys. See, I was wrong, so I brought out the calculator. So about 6.7 days. I'm sorry, 6.7 hours. Yeah, 6.7 hours. Let me double check that, guys. So you have 16,000 watts divided by 2,800 watts coming in. Yeah, that's right. So about 5.7 hours it would take. So that's definitely almost a whole day of charging there. Wow, that's a lot of power to store in there, though. Max solar input 1,000 watts. And that's 12 to 120 at 15. This is nice to see, guys. I'm not a high voltage guys myself. I like to stay under 60. To each their own. But that's nice that you could put this up, because then you can put more panels in an array and have a better chance of bringing in that big power. And here's your XT60 port. So now this is solar input. Now remember the P2001 that I was referring to, that we have 2 of them, have an XT60 output, and I really like that. I like that for RCs. I like that for ham radios, and I like that for charging like power dumping and stuff. But this system doesn't seem to have an output, but it does have an input, it says. And then here's your 12 volt DC outlet. So you have one 24 volt. Oh, yep. Okay, so guys, you have both. You have a DC output at 24. So we went from yes, no, yes again. 24 volt output, that's great for if you have diesel heaters or things like that run a lot of power. If you're power dumping, if you're running, charging RC batteries or something like that, that's very big multiple cell batteries. And you have chargers that are that can eat in that kind of power. The 24 volt rather than a 12, you could charge them a lot faster and get the power out. So you can get your car back on the track quickly. And then you have a standard one, a 12 volt at 10 amps. So it's 120 watts respectively at 240 watts. You could definitely see the double of power here. And then car outlet 2 times 12 volts at 3 amps, and it's 5521 barrel ports. And then now this is really good, guys. So if this comes out at full power, that's 2 of them, guys. My Oukitel P2001s that we have, they can bring out 2 100 watt, which is 20 volt at 5 amps out at the same time. Guys, that's big. If you want to charge 2 phones at the same time, you don't have to fight over the port. That's a really cool thing. I like that a lot. And I wish more power stations had that. And I wish that they had bidirectional input outputs on the power delivery ports, guys. And that's where you can actually put energy from another device into the battery cells through this port by a bidirectional power delivery port. I wish that they all had that. Very few systems I have. I think there's, I believe, 2 or 3 of my systems. The Energizer has it, the Mylon has it, and I believe that's it. Yeah, only 2 systems that I can remember off the top of my head. But I really like that. I like that a lot with this bidirectional. So it's something to look forward to in power stations, guys. You know, just to kind of get an idea of what that is. Rated power, that's your AC power, 2200 watts. You got 5 ports AC at 2200. Okay, so it doesn't say, guys, but there's probably and here's your 2000 watt hours before I jump off subject here. So it's a 48 volt battery pack, guys, and then 3500 cycles to 80. So now what I was saying here is, now you have your 4 ports here on the front of the system. We got to go way back up here. So you have your four ports. Let me get back to the main system here, guys. This is 4, and then I'm assuming that this is an AC output that is either, I wish I would show you guys, it would be helpful if they showed you what the port looked like. This is either a heavy duty TT Nana, I think it's called, port, or a 30 amp output that's on the side. It's hard to see, guys. Yeah, it looks like it says 30 amps. I can't read it, guys. I wish they would have better pictures, guys. I really do. I have a feeling this is that weird port where it has like the slot and it has the slits on the angle here. It looks like a 220 kind of port. But if the port's not open, guys, this doesn't really help us with the picture. But like I said, this is just a first look, just to kind of see what the system has to offer. I love the screens, guys. That's a huge plus in my book. Huge plus. And then its own power button, and you have the cigarette ports that can come out at 10. This is 48 volts here, guys. I wonder if that's a 48 volt. Let me see if I can get to, what was that battery pack called? The B2000. Okay, so I'm going to look that up here. Let's jump ahead to that here. Search our store here, guys. If you use the link that we have supplied in the description, make sure that you change this from what is it called? European money. Was it called the pound, I think, to North American currency, USA. Let's see. This is it. Okay, so here it is. So these are $1,000 a piece here, guys. Let's go over the batteries also here. So you got 2,000 watt hours. I want to see. Oh, see, they don't have the ports open. I think that's a big mistake that they don't have the ports open here, guys. I would really like to see. See, you can't read that. It looks like it says 48 volts at 15 amps, and this looks like it says 12 at 15. But guys, I can't verify that. That looks like it says 100, and this looks like it says 5 volts at 2.4 amps, which is 12 watts. But I can't see, guys. This looks like it has built-in recessed handles. That's very nice. So you can stack them really clean. But I wish they had a little bit better on the actual on the pictures, so you can actually see what you're looking at here, guys. Here, MPPT controller, that's a must, guys, nowadays. So you have a battery management system, etc. All the safety features. I'm assuming lithium iron phosphate, same as the main system here, guys. Here's your solar input, 200 watts, guys. That's low. In my opinion, I feel that's very low. Unless that you can use this input with the other system. Now remember that this is 2,000 watt. This will take 10 hours to charge by that port, guys. XT60 input. Yeah, that's really low, guys. Wow. Okay, 41 pounds for each battery. All the certifications, everything seems to be the same. Pure sign. But I wish that they would. Here's what comes in a box, guys. Here, so you have your communication port. This is your negative, positive over here, and this is all your communication ports. This is your charging from the wall, and this is your charging from MC4s, and then your instruction book. I like how you can use it separate, guys, but if that only allows 200 watts, that's crazy. Lower input, 200 watts. Now, like I said, if you could use this along with the main system, so you could have, it's kind of hard to explain. I'd have to explain it. Let me hop back to the main system here so I can explain it that way. Let's find that picture with all the batteries here, guys. Great. Loading here. Come on, internets, work with me here. Okay, let's look at this picture here. All right. We're on the very far side of the building, so the internet is very fast and very slow at the same time, depending on how far you are. Okay, so if you could have your, what was it? What was the input? Oh boy, I lost track here. 1,000. Okay, so you have 1,000 watts coming in this system, and then +2, and then +2. That would be nice. So that would be, let's see, 1,000, 12, 14, 16, 18. If it allows that, you know, to be all charged at the same time, guys, that's something to, you know, figure out. So you got 1,400 watts through the batteries, and then another 1,000. That would be about 2,400 watts total. If it allows that, guys. But other than that, yeah, it seems kind of low here, guys. But yeah, I just want to check this is a picture I was looking for. So here, if you had 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, that'd be 1,400 plus 1,000 up here, which would be 2,400 watts total. That would allow you to charge it within a solar day. But guys, you'd have to have a ton of different arrays to bring that in. And then on the let's see, on the specs, I think I saw, yeah, it was, I saw something with the charging, guys. Let me go back. You remember when I saw the charging of the main system? Boy, this, I think it's this internet website, guys. I don't think it's doing so good. Let me find it this way, guys. Sorry about this here. I'm at the mercy of the internet, guys. What are you going to do? All right, let's go back and find the main system. This is the PB. Okay, so here's the main system here. And I want to go back to what it said with the charging, because that kind of threw me off here a little bit here. So you got 1,000 watt charging here, and then when you go down to the tech specs, oh my goodness, this internet, guys, I'm telling you, I'm really sorry about this, guys. This internet is just not doing its best today. I have a feeling every other page loads really quick. I think it's this website, and it had the charging somewhere in here, and it said AC output. All right, now I'm not seeing it. Of course I'm not seeing it now, of course. Yeah, that was weird. All right, well, let me make sure this is the same one I was on here. Yeah, see, this looks different. Oh, here, this one. This one. Yeah, see, that's only one. I believe the one that I had the two of them here. Boy, the website's a little tough to navigate, guys. Oukitel, you got to do a little bit better here. This one. Okay, so this is the one I was looking at here. This one. Okay. So I don't know if it matters to have multiple batteries to it. Then maybe you get more charging. You can add that to the, you know, the charge it through the main system plus through the batteries here, guys. Yeah, I got lots of questions on this, guys. If any of you guys have this system, I just saw it. This is the first time, so this is definitely not a review. This is kind of a first look here. But when I was looking at the charging, if you guys can remember, if you go back in the system here, oh, now see, of course, now I can't find it. Crazy. All right, it says something about the power here. Yeah, here AC input is. Okay, so here, guys, here it is. It says AC input max 1,800 watts, right? And then down here it says AC charging 1,500 watts. So what is it? Is it 1,500 watts or is it 1,800 watts? So yeah, I definitely have questions on this, guys. Other than that, I like the design. I love that the system has the screen. I keep going back to that. I wish I had the right angle cables, guys. I'm hooked on those now. I really like Pecron's idea of the right angle cables, but this blows it away right here, having the system, all the information right there, straightforward. I like that, guys. I really do. Guys, if you have any information about this system, please feel free to comment. Let us know. Remember, we're a subscriber family. I'm only bringing this information forward so people can make an educated decision as far as, is that right for me or is it not? Or if you just want to take a look at it. You know, it's something that I just saw, so I thought, doggone, I'm going to make a video about it. I think it's very exciting that we have more and more power stations out there, so you can make a decision of what works for you, what doesn't work for you. If you're not a subscriber, guys, get up there, hit that button, be a part of this community. We're all trying to help each other. That's the name of the game. is to, like I said, figure out if these systems even work for you or they don't. That's the, or if you have a question or a problem, we come together as a team and we're able to figure out the problem, hopefully help, figure out the problem, and then we can all enjoy. Like, guys, I had a scriber pop on there, and he sent me a simple question, and he said, on that the Pecron E1500 LFP, how do you turn off the DC and the AC inverters from the app? And guys, it was right in front of his nose. But if you don't know, you don't know. It's hard to know, to find something if you don't see it. And it's very, very simple to overlook something. So I was able to help him, and now he's back on the right track within seconds, guys, with a simple comment or a question right to the page, and I was able to help him. So that's why we started this page, guys, so we can all learn and help each other as a community, as a group, so we can all figure out this stuff together. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and this is the BP2000 with the B2000, boy, these numbers, guys. Solar generator from Oukitel, however you want to say it. But I just want to bring this forward and let you guys see another piece of technology that I just found. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and we'll see you again as soon as we find some new technology. We'll bring it to your attention. Go have a look at it. If you like it, buy it. If you don't buy it. We're only bringing the information to you so everybody can have a better informed decision on what's out there. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe. We'll see you again at Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye, guys.